Welcome to Toffee TV. It is the player ratings. Crystal Palace 0, Everton 0 in the FA Cup third round. It doesn't exactly tell the story of what has gone on tonight at Selhurst Park, but that's football. That is very much football at the moment. The standards of refereeing are rock bottom, absolutely rock bottom, and yeah, they need to improve. They need to improve quickly, as do lots of other things in the game. But let's get into the ratings. João Virginia in goal. First time he was back in an Everton shirt. I think it's 3 years. I think it was since the quarter final. I think it was of the FA Cup. I think it was against Manchester City. If my memory serves me right. Good all-round performance by him. Made one really good save towards the end of the game by Eze. Made 3 saves in total, and looked quite comfortable. Looked measured. Got an early touch early on, quite a easy shot, but he went down, made sure he got hold of it, made sure he got a feel of the game. I thought his kicking was quite good. It was a little bit evident that we weren't trying the shorter balls with them, and that's fine. That's fine. I think tonight it's actually suited the way we played tonight. It doesn't always have to be the condition. The conditions were pouring down with rain, and doesn't always have to be. After losing 3 games and going out the other cup, it's about maybe calming things down a little bit. And I think he went long for the main part. We didn't go short as much. We didn't try and draw them in. We just played to what we thought were our strengths. And I thought he had a decent game. And took his opportunity. Whether he gets another opportunity in the replay, that'll be interesting to see whether the manager puts him in again for the replay. But why not? He didn't let anyone down tonight. He didn't let himself down. So fair play to him. I'll give him a 7.5 for his performance. Seamus Coleman back in the side and showing all the leadership elements that we know are there from him. I thought he had a really steady game. Just show you this heat map here. Obviously, you can see there, right in that middle section of the pitch. And I thought when we went down to 10 men, there was a real. You could see he was not going to be beaten. He was not going to be beaten at all. There was a steeliness in his interview afterwards. He was saying, it was never a red card. I thought in the first half, actually, I thought he had a lot of space to use, and it just never quite worked out, whether it was just a bad touch or not quite getting the cross in. But I think overall he had a decent game, and it's good to have him back in the blue shirt. It'd be nice to see him have a consistent run now. Obviously he came back and then got injured again, and it's been, he was on the bench for the City game and the bench of the weekend. So it'd be really nice to see him get a steady run now, steady run of fitness, because he probably still is our best right back, best all round right back anyway. So Seamus Coleman, I would give a 7.12. On the other side, Vitaly Michalenko, again, very, very steady, very, very comfortable game from him. Made 2 clearances, only dribbled past once. His ground duels and aerial duels. Well, aerial duels he had 1 and he won it, and his ground duels he didn't win any out of 2, which is very unusual for him. But again, I thought he was a very, very, very steady. Doesn't let much get past him, and doesn't really have many mistakes in his game. Maybe to what he used to. Just to show you this heat map there, again in the middle section of the pitch, rather than not really getting into the final third, which was an issue for the entire team tonight. I never really thought we got going in the final third at all. So I would give Michalenko a 7 for tonight's performance. James Tarkowski looking bit more of himself tonight. Very aggressive, a bit too aggressive in the first half. Took one of their players out that led to a free kick for Eze that he put over. So it was that in the second half. It was the first half, wasn't it? Yeah. And then claimed he hadn't done anything wrong, which was very, very interesting. Ground duels 1, none out of 3. 2 aerial duels, 1 out of 3. And all in all, again, the defence they were pretty unruffled tonight. They were very steady. They were the backbone of the side. You can understand why the manager wanted to keep them together. 3 of that back 4 are very consistent. Obviously, the right back position has changed quite a few times this season, but in the main, we've been very, very consistent in our back 4, and it's very noticeable because we do look like a good unit. And him leading that unit has obviously been captain a lot of this season, but also just as the organiser and the person organising the back line, the leader of the back line, very important. 10 long balls attempted, 6 accurate. That is something we like to do as well. That diagonal ball by James Tarkowski, and there was a couple of opportunities where if it had come off, it would have been a really good ball. So James Tarkowski, I would give a 7.2. Jared Branthwaite, excellent again. Wasn't to be messed with again. There was one in the first half where the lad just run into him, and it hit Branthwaite in the midsection, and he throws himself over, and it's just like you ran into the wrong person, mate. You ran into the wrong person. Just show you his heat map, because he's a little bit everywhere there, to be honest. On the left, on the right, in the centre. So doing an all-round really good job for the team tonight. Jared Branthwaite won 4 of his 5 aerial duels, won 1 out of 1 of his ground duels, tackles 1, block shots 2, clearances 3. So a very good, again, all-round game by Jared Branthwaite tonight, who just, again, we say it every week, he looks so calm, he looks unruffled every time he plays. And the thing was, when he played against Palace in the league game, he looked a little bit. He looked like that was the first time he looked a little bit iffy. He looked like he was just a little bit like he didn't really like Eze running at him. But tonight he looked just so much more composed, I thought, in his general play. So Jared Branthwaite, I would give a 7.6 for the performance tonight. Amadou Onana, I honestly thought Onana looked like he could play with was playing with his slippers on tonight. I thought he was so comfortable in midfield. He just, again, talking about calmness, he was brilliant, I thought. 6 out of 9 ground duels won, 4 out of 4 aerial duels won, and Onana's got a lot of stick recently, and I think it all comes from the frustration of the penalty against Fulham, and I understand that. But let's not lose sight that he is one of our best players, and he's very, very comfortable. The last couple of games, certainly the City game, I think he got a knock against City game, said this before, and that continues in the Wolves game. You've seen him go down tonight, and he got ice put on his knee. I think he might be carrying something, but he can't drop out the side because we haven't got the players. I thought he was so comfortable tonight. I thought he played really well. Is his heat map just inside their half? Obviously the red on the right hand side, but a little bit on the left there as well. Not needed as much in our half because we played a little bit higher up the pitch. But I thought he was. And do you know what? I think there was early in the part of the season, or certainly last season, we were saying, can he do a bit more? Can he do a bit more? I still think he can. I honestly believe there's so much more in Onana to come. And I don't listen. That might mean when he plays, if he plays with better players or at a higher level or whatever. but I still think he's got loads. I still think he plays within himself, even though he's playing with flip-flops on. And I thought tonight he done really well. He done really well. And as I said, people can have a go at him all he wants. I just think players will have poor games now and again. He's still young. He'll make poor decisions in terms of things like the penalty. But he was excellent. Excellent tonight. Excellent. So I would give Onana a 7.7 for tonight's performance. James Garner, again, all over the place, very dynamic. But the only thing I would say is he's not getting himself in the final third enough. I think that the working side of the game, excellent. He's won 5 out of 8 ground duels tonight, and he's won. He's lost his only aerial duel. But I think the only thing I'd say about him is he's not getting the final third, or he's not playing the ball into the final third enough. Passing wise, 63 touches, 84% pass accuracy, which is good. But I want to see him getting into the final third, creating those opportunities, because the gap between the midfield and Dominic Calvert-Lewin is just too big. It's just too big. And I'll show you this heat map here. As you can see there, he's all in the middle section, and he's never really getting away from the middle section. He's not getting far enough forward. I'd love there to be more yellow and more red just outside the penalty box, and that's one thing I do think he needs to improve on, is starting to get into the final third, because Onana's not really going to get into the final third. And I know we do play with a player just behind the striker, but I think one other midfielder is got to start breaking, and I think that's more likely to be James Garner than it is Onana. So that's just the one side of his game that I'd like him to improve on, because I just don't think he's doing it enough, getting higher, because it's in there. It's going to be the next thing for him, I think. It's in there, but just like to see that come out of him a little bit more. And I think then we'll see more complete performances, because I just think that one of the midfielders has to start breaking forward and making late runs into the box and joining up with the forward and whoever's playing behind the forward as well. Because I'll show you, when I show you Jack Harrison's heat map in a minute, you'll understand again why. So I'll give James Garner a 7. Jack Harrison played in that role tonight, and the manager does seem to like him in that role. I think it was a little bit too much moving a few too many things round, with McNeil going on the right and Danjuma coming on the left and him going centre. But that's what we're doing at the moment, and that's all we've got. But I'll just show you this heat map. Now, the hot spots are on the right-hand side. Look at the central area. Central area, there's nothing. There's nothing outside the box. And that's where I'm saying about James Garner as well. And there's no one inside the box. You can understand why Dominic Calvert-Lewin was so isolated tonight, because we're getting nobody. And this is why Decore is so important for this team, because we're just not getting anyone in that area around the box to support the striker. So Harrison's not a natural fit in there, and that to me is where, if he plays in that role, he's got to get better. He had 2 shots off target and 1 blocked, and they were decent opportunities as well tonight for him as well. 79% pass accuracy. Dribble attempts 3, non-successful. He didn't win any of his duels, which is fine because of where he was playing. But someone's got to get around the centre forward in this team, and that's what Decore does so well for us, and that's why we're a little bit lost. Still haven't won a game under Sean Dyche, with Decore not in the side. So we have to improve. We have to improve in the middle of the park. We have to get someone breaking through the gap when the Corey's not in the team. So and Jack Harrison didn't really do that tonight. So I would give Jack Harrison a 6.6 for tonight's performance. Dwight McNeil obviously came off with an injury. The manager has been on TV, and you think he was on radio before, and said it doesn't look as bad, which is something. He said it's swollen, and he said it doesn't look as bad as what maybe they first feared, which is positive. I'm not exactly going to sit here and start cheering about that straight away, but let's hope it's not as bad. These things, that to me says there's nothing broken, but the problem is if the swelling goes down, and they might find some ligament damage, which can... That's what happened at the beginning of the season, and he was out for the first month, wasn't he? Didn't come back till Sheffield United, and he wasn't fit really when he came back for that. But let's hope it's not as bad as what we all thought when it first happened. But again, he started on the right. I didn't think it particularly worked. It improved when he went over on the left hand side. Again, looked a little bit leggy. Just show you this heat map. Little bit of dark on the right hand side, but again, not getting the best out of Dwight McNeil while he's in that position for him. 47 touches of the ball, 75% pass accuracy. 10 crosses, only 3 accurate. No shots on target or off target. Ground duels, he only had 2. He didn't win either, and didn't win any aerial duels, but wasn't for the one to try. Lad always tries, and always does the best with what he's got. But just again, it wasn't his night, was it? It just wasn't his night. So 6.8 for Dwight McNeil. Anathan Juma came into the side, and first half looked our best player, looked our most dangerous player, cutting in from that left hand side. He had one where Harrison put him through, and his first touch took him really straight, and his second one, he did the same shot at Tottenham where he's trying to almost get it over the keeper. Where I just think if you go low and hard to the corner, bottom corner, you've got a better opportunity. The keeper saves it, gets another opportunity, takes a nick and goes into the side netting. And I thought he was good first half, but he really dropped off in the second half. You can see the fitness levels with him. They weren't quite there. Shots on target 2, shots blocked 1, dribble attempts none. He was, as I said, in the first half, very direct and looked threatening. And he's gonna play, isn't he? If Dwight McNeil is out for any, he's gonna play, isn't he? We've got 3 more games this month now, and he'll get an opportunity now to play on the left, you would imagine. So he's going to have to make the most of it, and he's going to have to be ready, and he's going to have to be fit. As I said, first half I thought he was good. I'll just show you this heat map there. Again, the red spots, the biggest one is just inside their half, and there's one just on the edge of the box. But again, we need more. Need more from our wide players, and we need more from the player who's sitting just behind the striker, if it's not the Corey, to help the striker, to join up with the striker. So Dan Juma, I would give a 6.8 tonight. Dominic Calvert-Lewin, just another disappointing game, wasn't it, for him? Let's be honest. I think he had 1 shot on target, which was quite a weak shot. He had 1 shot off target, only 26 touches of the ball. I said on Saturday I wanted to see him be more aggressive. You've got to be careful what you wish for, haven't you? what I would say is at least he was in the box a bit more today. There was not much sign of him in the box on Saturday, but he was in the box a little bit more tonight. He's just off it. He's just off it, and now he's going to be off it for another 3 games. He is just off it, and if he is out for 3 games, then it gives him a chance to sit and wait, and that will be frustrating because he won't be back till the game against Spurs, is it? Which is like the first week in February. So it's a month. But he's not at the races. But what I would say is that we don't make it easy for him. We don't give him chances. The one shot he had on target, as weak as it was, he made that for himself, running with the ball. We're not making chances. And you can criticise Dom for that as well, of course you can, because he should be getting himself into areas to bring other people into the game. But it's just not happening. We're not putting decent crosses in. We're not supporting him. We're not getting men into the box. We're not making runs from midfield. The wide men aren't contributing, haven't been contributing enough recently. And it's left them very, very isolated. And now Beto's going to get an opportunity, and it'll be interesting to see how the play changes, if there's a variation in the play. But it's just not happening for him, and he just looks bang out of sorts, no confidence. And you can tell when Dom's at it, and there's a bit of a snarl in Dom. And when he came back last season and we played Brighton, that's Dom. That's proper Dom and Calvert-Lewin. Problem is that this is the other end of the spectrum. And he has to, when he gets back, he has to get back into it. The club will appeal, and hopefully, but I'll be honest, I'm not very confident we'll get anything out of that, because the way football works, they just go, well, he had his studs up and it was dangerous and all that nonsense, because they are full of nonsense. But so Dom, I'd give a 6 tonight. It's just not happening. It's just not happening, and you can't shy away from it. You can't shy away from it. Listen, if people want to call him this and that and the other, fine, but we've seen Dom at his best, and he's a good footballer, and it's just not happening for him. It's as simple as that. Beto came on not long after, just after Dom had been. He was due to be coming on. People might actually say the manager should have brought him on earlier. Beto came on. He was on for 10 minutes plus the 10 touches. Could have, maybe have had a penalty. 2 hands round him. If Dom touching someone's sock with his boots a red card, then that's a penalty, as far as I'm concerned. He's a different kind of player. And if Dom is out the team, we'll have to adjust to that, and we're going to have to do something a little bit different because of just the way he plays. He likes picking up the ball. He likes running with the ball. He's not really a back-to-goal striker. He's someone who wants to get into the channels in the final third. And we're going to have to adopt to that. 2 ground duels, 1. And I think he did all right. So I'll give him a 6.5 for the time he was on the pitch. And as I said, we're going to have to change it up a little bit for him if the appeal is unsuccessful. So we'll see what happens. Andre Gomez, he was on for, ended up being about 20 minutes, didn't he? He touched the ball 3 times. I don't know whether I can give someone a score who's touched the ball 3 times. I'll give him a 6.2. Touched the ball. Although he did win one of his 2 ground duels. So there you go. Yeah. A disappointing night, but a disappointing night because of Dom's sending off and Dwight McNeil's injury. And we'll have to wait and see what happens with that. Yeah, I don't know. But anyway, we'll be doing the final word tomorrow over on Toffee TV Premier. If you join Toffee TV Premier, by the way, you get no adverts on any of the videos or on your podcasts. None whatsoever. The only time you get adverts is if you're watching YouTube live, but then we swap the videos over, so if you haven't watched it live, you'll get a video with no adverts on. So for like £3 odd a month, whatever it is, it's all to do with the conversion rate, currency rate. Come and join us over there, and you'll get no ads. You won't have to suffer any of the adverts. There you go. So we'll be doing the final word tomorrow over on Toffee TV Premier. Go and check out Baz's videos as well. He'll be doing his videos, and they'll be going out right now. So I'll catch you in a bit. Thanks for watching. See you later.